So a lot of times I'm sitting in the chair getting my hair cut, or I'm at the grocery store, or I might be at church or some other social gathering, and I get asked, "So how's the real estate market?" And I'm always, believe it or not, I'm always caught off guard a little bit. But basically, the real estate market's always changing, and so I thought I would just give you my top three predictions of what I think the real estate market's going to look like in 2024. It may go beyond that, but at least for 2024. So, number three, and this may surprise you, but it's buyer's agency agreements. You're going to see more of those as we go through 2024 and probably beyond. You do a listing agreement if you're uh, listing your home for sale, but most of the time buyers don't have an official agreement with um, an agent when they're looking for a home. But I think that's going to change. A few months ago, there was a big lawsuit brought against the National Association of Realtors and several large brokerages. And basically, the people that were bringing this lawsuit in Missouri were saying that the agents were colluding, they were setting rates that were too high, that they were taking advantage of folks, and that's not really what was going on. But the suit is out there. And so, in order to explain this, I kind of have to explain what agency and commissions are all about. See, when you list your home, you're agreeing to a particular commission structure for with your listing agent. And then that listing agent takes that commission and gives a portion of it to a buyer's agent who is bringing a buyer to purchase your home. Now, the commission structure is set by the brokerage that agent works with, or if they're an independent agent and they're not with a big brokerage, they're setting that rate, and it ranges. There's no set rate, and it is negotiable with uh, people who are listing their homes. But what's happened is they're saying that it's an unfair practice and that the people who are listing their home are having to pay the buyer's agent as well. And that's not the case. The case is that you're negotiating a contract with a listing agent or with a listing brokerage, and you are agreeing to a particular um, commission for them to market your home and to sell your home and to find a buyer to come to your home. Now, a lot of listing agents don't actually sell your home as in bring a buyer. There's usually another agent who's a buyer's agent who's bringing the buyer to you. Sometimes it happens where the listing agent brings a buyer as well. And in that situation, you get into what's called limited agency. And both parties have to agree that that agent can represent both sides. And it's very difficult to do that and still maintain integrity along the transaction. It's not impossible. It happens all the time. I've done it in the past, but it is difficult to do sometimes. So so the buyer's agent brings a buyer, and so the listing agent co-ops or gives a portion of the commission that he's receiving from um, the seller and gives it to the buyer as a buyer's agent as compensation for bringing a buyer. So that's basically what's happening. It's not that an agent is taking all the commission and running with the money or that type of thing. That's usually not the case. So, what does a buyer's agency contract or agreement do for you? Basically, what it does is it has an agreement between the two parties that you're going to be loyal to each other. There are a lot of times that buyers will call a listing agent's sign and call that agent to look at the home and they don't want that home, so they go to another one and they call that one, and there's no loyalty by the buyer. And so what happens is a buyer, when you don't have that continuity with an agent, they don't really know what your likes and dislikes and what exactly that you're looking for, those type of things. And so it's best to, in my opinion, to have an agreement that outlines what you're looking to do, what kind of home you're looking for, what area you're looking in, what price point you're looking at, and for a period of time. It can be 3 months, it can be 6 months, it can be 2 years. It doesn't really matter, but you have an agency agreement that allows that agent to be loyal to you and you loyal to them. And there's certain things that they legally have to do if they have an agreement with you. They have to be confidential. They have to be acting in your best interest, not the seller's best interest, your best interest. And so it's good to have a agreement in writing to do that. And I think you benefit better when you have a buyer's agency agreement with somebody. Just like a seller has a listing agreement that outlines the things that the listing agent will do for that seller, it's best to have a buyer's agency agreement with a buyer's agent so that it outlines exactly what the expectations are. So as far as my commission that I charge for sellers who are selling their home or listing their home with me, I present a menu of services. You actually get to choose what the commission is based on what I will do for that particular commission. And so I find this a lot easier. That way everybody knows exactly what I'm doing. The expectation is set, and we can negotiate any of those areas, but you know exactly what's happening. And I will tell you that if a buyer's agent brings a buyer, I'm going to share part of that commission with that agent or that brokerage. And typically it's half of the commission. So my number 2 prediction is that new construction will be a big thing in 2024. So there is low inventory. We've had low inventory for years and years and years, but it's at the lowest point that it's ever been in the history of real estate. So what's happening is the new construction that should have happened several years ago is happening now. And the new builders, the new construction builders are out there building homes right now without customization. They're just building new homes. They're building their most popular models and they're setting them up. And so somebody can come in and say, hey, I'm looking for a new house. And they can say, hey, well, we've got this one right here and it's already built and it's ready to go and it's brand new. Well, this is a huge attraction to a buyer that's in a market where there's low inventory. Who wouldn't want a brand new house? With 10-year warranties and warranties on all the appliances and builder warranties thrown in and all that sort of stuff. And not only that, the builders are giving incentive to buy these properties. Typically, a brand new home is going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more than what an existing home is for the same size and characteristics and those type of things, because it's brand new. But what they're doing is to make them affordable. They're able to adjust interest rates or have interest rate or special interest rates for buying that particular house. And so basically the house that you could find that is 20 years old or 30 years old that's been remodeled and you for the same price or for a particular price, you can get the same payment of for a brand new home because you got a lower interest rate that the builder is providing. So I really think that 2024 is going to see a huge uptick in brand new homes being built and being bought by buyers that are looking for a home in this low inventory market. So, but let's say, you know what, you don't want a brand new home. or maybe you're in a place where there aren't a whole lot of properties being built. So what I do is I bring my Perfect Home Finder program into play. And what I do is I go out and I look for off-market properties for you. I customize that search so that you can find the home that you're looking for. I use my marketing money in order to find that home for you. And it's successful. We're able to find properties that people didn't know were available. A lot of times there's people out there in this market who are wondering, should I buy a home? Should I not buy a home? Should I sell my home? And those people who are sitting on the fence of wanting to sell their home, we're able to tip it toward, yes, I'm going to sell, because we've already brought a buyer to them. As a matter of fact, the house that I first bought, my first home, was an off-market property. Basically, my wife and I knocked on the door of somebody that we had indicated that they might want to sell their house, and we knocked on the door and said, hey, would you be interested in selling your house? And they were like, yeah, I think we would. We negotiated a price and other terms, and we bought the house. So I know that it works, and it can work for you as well. The number one prediction for the real estate market in 2024 is rates are going to drop. They're not going to drop significantly, I don't think, but they're going to drop nonetheless. Today, the Fed, right now, as we're recording this, the Fed is making the decision, going to be announcing their decision as far as rates are concerned. I believe they're not going to do anything at this point, but I do believe that they're going to drop the rates another 2 or 3 times during the course of the year. And when this happens, there are going to be more buyers into market. They're going to jump into the market, and they're going to be looking around, and there's not going to be any more inventory. So sellers, how this affects sellers is, if you were sitting on the fence to sell your home, now's the time to get into the market, because there are going to be people who want to buy your home. Simple as that. Rates are going to go down. Right now they're averaging about 7%. I really think that they'll get down to right around 6 by the end of the year.